This is a short little video I just was looking at. Let's just listen to on YouTube. Everything happens for a reason. A life-changing story you must hear. The reason I clicked on it is because this is my book that I wrote and then narrated on my channel. It's my first novel that I ever wrote. It's a fantasy novel based on the game Dungeons and Dragons. And one of the themes in my story is everything happens for a reason. I say that, I don't know exactly how many times, 3 or 4, maybe 5. I don't recall. Let's just listen to this for a second.
Once upon a time, in a small, peaceful village, there lived an old man. He was not rich. He didn't have land or money, but he had a beautiful white horse. Everyone in the village admired the horse. Many rich people offered to buy it, but the old man always refused. He would say, "This horse is not for sale. He is not just a horse to me. He is my friend, my family." The villagers thought the old man was foolish. "You can sell this horse and live a comfortable life," they said. But the old man smiled and replied, "Money can buy many things, but not peace. I'm happy the way I am." Then one morning, something shocking happened.
All right, we can go on. The horse, we don't need to though. The horse runs away. They said, "See, you should have sold it." Maybe, maybe not. Let's see what happens. The horse comes back, brings back 3 horses with him, 3 wild horses, and they're like, "Oh, you're lucky." And he goes, "Maybe, maybe not. We'll see what happens." Blah blah blah. One of his kids rides on one of the horses, has a bad accident, breaks his leg. They went, "Oh, see, that's so unlucky. That's so unfortunate." Blah blah. Wait, on and on it goes. War comes. All the people's kids are taken to the war, except the man whose son had a broken leg. "You're so lucky. Now all of our kids are in danger." All right, so we're going to skip ahead to that.
The villagers were now speechless. They said, "You were right. Your son's broken leg saved his life. All our sons are now in danger." The old man gently said, "Life is always moving between good and bad, joy and pain. But everything happens for a reason. We just don't see it at first." Moral of the story: in life, things don't always go the way we want. Sometimes we lose something and feel broken. Sometimes blessings come in the form of problems. But the truth is, life is much bigger than one moment. The old man in this story didn't react with anger or sadness. He chose to stay calm, to wait, and to trust the journey. And in the end, everything made sense.
No, in the end, all of the people's children were put in danger except yours. You got lucky because your son had a broken leg. Everyone else's kid is in danger. Oh, well, everything happens for a reason. There's a point where this wisdom just breaks down. He's not just a horse to me. I'm going to turn off the sound. He's my friend, my family. Okay. That's fine. You could sell this horse and live a comfortable life. Money can buy many things, but not peace. I'm happy the way I am. He's right. It can't buy peace. But if that man didn't have any money and still chose not to sell his horse, he would lose everything he had. Assuming he has bills to pay. I don't think he has many bills to pay, living the life that he's living here. I'm pretty sure this is not 2025 for this guy. If I could sell something that gave me enough money that I would be financially secure for the rest of my life, I would be a moron not to sell it. If I had something that really, really was valuable to me, that I cared about, like this man's horse, but selling it would give me the freedom to just live my life. I would be a fool not to sell it. Yes, everything happens for a reason. I agree with that. But if selling this horse would have given him a good life, then you're a fool not to sell it. Well, the horse is like family to him. Okay, yeah, some things are more important than money. But that doesn't see this whole idea that we don't need money. Well, yeah, in some places you don't. In some places the cost of living is extremely low. It's a lot easier to live, I believe, in somewhere like Montana or Wyoming. I don't know the exact cost of living there, but the cost of living here is insane in Chicago. It's absolutely insane. And in California and New York and most places in this country. I don't know about the rest of the world. I'm assuming it's insane everywhere. All I need is the freedom to be free. That would give me the peace and the happiness that I desire, that you desire, that everyone desires. And to deny that reality is stupid. Now, the horse is like family to him. Of course he's not going to sell it if it's like family to him. But if that horse could talk, that horse would say, what the hell's wrong with you? Selling me would give you enough money that you'd be set for life and you'd never have to worry about another thing financially. You'd be a fool not to do that. Because you're going to end up homeless if you don't have the money to pay your bills. And you will not be at peace anymore. You will starve to death and you will be begging people to give you food. I get really, really tired when people say money can't buy you happiness. Yeah, it can't buy you inner peace, but it can absolutely buy you happiness. Absolutely buy you. Like I said, if I had $2 million free and clear, that just bought me a lot of happiness. I no longer have to work for a living. I no longer have to live in the city of Chicago in an apartment where I have to pay rent every month. I would go buy a nice, simple home in the country and be free to live there and free to do what I want. And hopefully, I'd meet a really nice girl who'd come live with me and we'd grow old together. We'd live out our days together. Happy, friends would come over. We could go out to dinner when we wanted to. We could stay home when we wanted to. We could go see a movie when we wanted to. We could eat whatever food we want to eat. I know how to stay healthy, the Wim Hof method. I've already found the secret to health. I'm not practicing it nearly as often as I should because I'm frustrated, because I'm trapped. Because I have to pay rent, which means I have to make enough money to be able to pay the rent. I have to work for a living. That's not peace. That's not freedom. FDR once said, a necessitous man is not a free man. There's only one thing that money can buy, and that's freedom. That's why people pursue wealth, but then they become slaves to their wealth. That's also stupid. That's stupid. Once you have enough money to be free, you are a fool if all you do is work for more money. Why are you working for more money when you have all that you need? That's freedom. That's what gives you peace of mind. Now you can explore inner peace, inner tranquility. Now you can become the best version of yourself because you are no longer burdened with the need to go do something. What if I get sick? What if I break my leg? I'm effed if I break my leg. If I get really sick and I'm out for a week or two, I'm done. My life is dependent on staying healthy enough that I can continue to work to pay my bills. It is a trap. And this denial that it's not a trap And that, oh, life happens and some things are good and some things are bad. Yeah, your son broke his leg and every other son had to go off to war. See, it worked out. Yeah, it worked out for your son. It didn't work out for anyone else. That's insanity. You want to hear a fantasy story that talks about stuff like this? I mean, not really, but yeah, some. There it is. Forestera's Fate, the sacred shrine in the Valley of Caves. A story of 8 people who depend on each other and trust each other, who are good, moral, ethical people who work for the good of the group, for the good of all of them. They're all brothers and sisters. They all care about each other, and they all come together to work together. That's what Dungeons and Dragons is. You sit around a table and you play a game where you work together as a group. You put aside being selfish and greedy, because that way you have the best chance of surviving, of not getting killed, because the game will kill you. Not 5th edition D&D. You don't have to worry about dying in 5th edition D&D. You're really, really powerful, and you get 3 death saving throws to avoid dying. It's the most ridiculous game I've ever heard of in my life. 1st edition and 2nd edition Dungeons & Dragons, you will die. You go up against monsters and you fight them, and if you don't beat them, they beat you and you die, and that's the end. And that's when the game ends. And then you roll up another character and you try again. That's no longer the case in this game. They've sanitized and watered down this game. Wizards of the Coast D&D is absurd. TSR D&D, go check it out, is hard. It's a challenge. You might die. That was the point of the game. It was a hard game to survive at, and that's what this story is all about. It's difficult. Things happen. If you're not careful, you'll die. Yet one guy who criticized my book, and I really liked talking to the guy, gave me a lot of constructive criticism, gave me a lot to think about for if I ever write book 3. He said, your party, this party of people you have, it's like the Mr. Rogers neighborhood of a party of adventurers. That cracked me up. It was a criticism, but I really appreciated the fact that he took the time to tell me exactly what he thought about my story. And there were more things that he said, but we had a really good conversation. I'm hoping he's going to listen to book 2, because book 2, I really want to hear what he thinks about book 2. But that's another story. Let me just show you book 2. So there's book 2, The Caves of Ordered Randomness. How can caves be ordered and random? It's a weird title, isn't it? It's a module that I wrote. I didn't publish it. It's on my blog, so I did publish it. The Caves of Ordered Randomness. That is also something that you can read. Both of these are actually, the one is not a module that I wrote, but it's on my blog as well. All right. Just wanted to get this off my chest.